Is he here? John? Are you here, John? I can see you. Oh, you're hiding in the fucking shadow. Guys, please put your hands together for John Shirley.
No, it's all good. Yeah, it is kind of dark back there. How are we doing, folks? Good? Having a good night so far?
Yep.
All right, sweet. Yeah, good. Sideshow Bob over here. Yeah, we're just doing this. Not the main room, but we'll try and entertain nonetheless. So, any dog people in the room? Yeah. Dogs? Yeah, we like dogs? Cool. That's an easy one. Wolf? Yeah. Yeah, you know the sound they make. That's good. That's a good start. Yeah, we can work with that. Yeah, I've got a dog. His name's Gucci. He's a good dog. I love him a lot. I like to hype him up in the morning. I don't know if anybody who's got a dog does this in the morning, but you see him, and the first thing you do, you're always, you gotta rile them up, right? You gotta tell them how good they are, loved and all that stuff. When I get real excited, I call my dog Gucci, short for Gucci, right? It's cute. I think it's cute. My neighbors, though, aren't aware that I have a dog. And so I'll explain. The problem with his nickname being Gooch is Gooch can mean two things. It could mean my dog, or it could mean the little landing strip you got going on between your front business and your back business. And so I have been made aware that my neighbors for the last year or so have been hearing me every morning going, I love my Gooch. Oh, yeah, good Gooch. Oh, giving him scratches. Gotta scratch the Gooch. Yeah, oh, that's good. That's good. He's being a good Gooch today. Oh, you're getting stinky. When the last time I bathed you? It's, and you got worms? What's going on there, bud? Let's check you out. Yeah, so it's cute for me, but I've had to do some explaining for my neighbors lately. And so that's been fun. He's getting old. He's an older dog. I don't know how old, really. He's when you get a dog from the shelter, they don't ever tell you, right? They just, you ask, obviously. When I asked, they just told me, they're like, I don't fucking know, pick a year. How old do you want him to be? It's just, it's just guess. So he's 103 now. He's doing good for his age, though. He's on Medicaid, and yeah, he's doing good. It's tough watching your dog get older, though. He started to, you can tell just a little bit. His eyes getting a little foggy. He's starting to limp up the stairs a little bit, that sort of thing. Really, it really hit home recently. He's been, I realized he's been watching a lot of Fox News lately, just a ridiculous amount. And it was all right at first, but then, the fifth time you come home and you hear Handy on the background, you're like, all right, come on. Let's change it up or something, there's other news sources out there, but he's doing good. It's kind of shaped how he views the world, though, a little bit. It's been tough to take him to the dog park lately. He calls the cops on all the black labs. He's telling Chihuahuas to go home. I'm like, they live here, it's their apartment too. None of us actually own this place. But he gets along great with German Shepherds, so I guess that's a good start. At least he's got friends. It's a good thing. Anybody like horror movies? Anybody horror movie fans? Yeah? I just watched The Conjuring lately. Does anybody know about that one? The Conjuring? Okay, so it's a haunted house movie. It's about this, supposedly they're all based on true stories, but this one's real. And it's these ghost hunting couple. They go to this house that's supposedly haunted, is bought, this family got it, and it was haunted by colonial ghosts or something, so they're still mad about the British or whatever, but they go through this whole thing, they help the family, they chase out the ghosts, and, then that's supposedly the end where the movie stops, at least, but the true story of that, it actually is really based on a real story, is that family, after their wife got possessed even at one point, they had to do a whole exorcism for her. They stayed in that house for another 30 years after all that. And eventually lived there until they got foreclosed on during the 2008 financial crisis. I think that's a really important piece of context that's missing from the movie, though, because that just goes to show that this family overcame, demon possession, but the real evil, banks. It's just, those are more evil than anything you'll ever deal with. It's they withstood demon possession. They came together. They united under God. And but reverse prime mortgage came around, and like no God could save them from that. That was just too much. And they out just even the demon was like, I wasn't trying to make the kids homeless. At least it's fucking have a heart, Lehman Brothers. It's just anybody, this is a little bit of an older crowd. You guys own homes, I hope, right? Yeah? Or is it shit for you guys? This economy, like, is it really trickled up that way now? Is it everybody screwed? Okay. All right, at least we're in good company. I had a home. I owned a home, and then I sold it and started renting again. Honestly, the home ownership stuff is like really overrated, I think, personally. It's as soon as I got it, I didn't know what I was doing. They tell you it's a cool thing, but then the sink clogs for the first time, and I panicked. I don't even know what to do. I called up my old landlord, asking for help. I was like calling her up like I was an ex or something. I was like, hey baby, I know I was saying I was leaving you for something more committed, but why don't you call Juan over like old times and send him over my way? We can do some, got some dirty business for him to take care of. Yeah, so it turns out I don't like committed relationships with my house. I'm a house hoe. I will just short term, 12 to 18 months at least. It's that's the ideal relationship length for me. And then on to the next one. So that's been fun little development in my life. Couples here. I see some couples. You two. See some ladies, friends. All right, more than friends. All right. Hey, no hate. My girlfriend's here with me tonight. She got tricked into this. She's cool. She's from Poland. I didn't know much about Poland though. When we first started dating, I thought that's just where strippers came from. It's just land of the Poles. And that's actually that line worked though. We're dating. It's over a year now, so we're doing good. But it's interesting dating somebody who's from another country. She speaks fluent English. She came here when she was young. You wouldn't know she spoke Polish if she didn't tell you. But it's funny because it's not perfect English, so she'll screw up little words here and there every now and then. And it's so like slipped in. I can't tell if she's just screwing with me or if it's like a language thing, Like the other day I was telling her about my day at work. I was saying that it was a rough day. My boss was mad. He was really chewing me out because I missed a deadline. It just wasn't a good day. She's listening. She then looks at me and she goes, yeah, I know I know what you mean. The other day my boss ate me out too. I was like, that's kind of hot, but I hope you got a raise. We got bills, but she does stuff like that. Sometimes she'll say like Steve in bed or something like that. That's got to be a Polish thing, I'm sure. Can't be anything else. It's we moved in together. That's a big leap. That's no applause. That's appropriate. No, don't. That's our therapist says that is where the issues began. You gotta live with somebody. You gotta cohabitate the same space. It's I realized pretty fast I don't actually own anything, and I pay most of the rent. And it's like I get like maybe a corner out of it, which is a good deal. It's a good deal. But I found out recently, though, that living with a woman, they expect you as the man of the house to defend the house if people break in. Did you know that? Did you know that you're supposed to do? I thought they were slower. So I thought the women was slower, so you could if somebody breaks in. But no, that's actually, you're supposed to compensate for their weakness. So we've been having discussions about that because she thinks I'm supposed to defend the house. And I don't know if you remember when the host called me up. My last name is Shirley. I'm not winning fights, guys. I'm not. Nobody's like, oh, it's Shirley. God, run. It's they know they picked the right house as soon as they find out my last name is Shirley. They know they're in the right spot. That's just what's going to happen there. I've got some religious jokes. Do we feel weird about religion? I don't want to trample on anybody's sensitivities here or anything like that. Are we all right with that? Yeah? Okay. All right. I grew up religious. I grew up Protestant, so we learned about Jesus, had all the Bible school camps and stuff like that growing up, and you read about Jesus and stuff like that, and they always depict him as white. He's a white Jesus all the time. But growing up, I eventually started rereading some of those stories, and you start looking and you're like, you look at the geography and stuff, and you realize maybe the guy's probably not white, right? It's not. Like that would be the miracle, right? Middle East, just only white dude there, it's like, that would be the true miracle. But now you like read the stories and stuff, and you hear about, it takes a new context when you read him as like a black guy, right? It's like, he goes, he's feeding the crowd with just some fish and some loaves of bread. He feeds like thousands out there, they have a whole good time. So it's like, likes barbecues, check. Growing up, he doesn't know who his dad is. Is it like it's Jesus or is it God? Is it Joseph? Who do we? Who I don't know. Mary's like God, but So and most telling of all, of course, is the fact that he's famous for walking on water. Never swims, though. Never swims. Not once. The guy doesn't, the first time he gets the opportunity, he's like, nope, going over this thing. Like, nope, not happening. So, that's my theory there. All right, you guys did well. I like that we're all doing this in good faith here. So,
religious ones?
this is the really well. Okay, all right. You want to hear? I got another one. All right. So, Jesus, at the end of his life, he was he's on the cross, right? That's how he died, right? That's how it happened. Now,
Spoiler.
yeah, oh yeah, spoiler. All right, yeah. If you guys haven't read the book or anything, right? Yeah. So he's getting up there. It's a wooden cross though, right? And so Jesus is a carpenter his whole life. So I just always wondered, he's hanging on there, sitting, and he's like, in the back of his mind though, he's kind of, you think he might be like judging the craftsmanship a little bit, right? He's like, he's probably like, this is like oak, like you guys, this is good, this is good. For a bunch of Jews, you guys really all went out. Like, this is good. This is, bravo, way to go out. There you go. That's the religious one. I try and be fair to everybody though. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. It's tough. I was saying I had a girlfriend. Before that though, it was tough. I was out in the wilds. I was out surviving, and every man knows this feeling. You're on the apps. You're just trying to make it to the next day. It's an experience. I wasn't having good luck before I met my girlfriend. She finally, somebody fell for it, and I'm glad she did. But before that, it was not going well, and I was thinking about even trying out the gay thing for a little bit. But, hey, look, it's a good deal, right? It's a good deal. It's you get brunch. It's you get a personal stylist. It's back up in a fight. Like, that's cool. Like, that's a fun deal. Gave it a whirl though. It ended up being a bigger pain in my ass. It was the victim of my own success, you could say. So I respect the gays though. They're a cool group. They've got superpowers. I don't know if you know this. They have superpowers. That's not what you say if if you hook up with one. That's just you. But it's not an excuse. The superpowers don't work that way. But they if you ever notice how if a bunch of gay guys show up to any kind of bar, give them like a week, and that bar is now a gay bar, right? Right? That's just true. That's a matter of fact. They could be a Hell's Angels bar, They spend a month there. It's Hell's Little Angels. They're all riding shotgun on each other, They all got the little side cabs and stuff. Yeah. So that alone, cool. The superpower though is that it doesn't work in reverse. A bunch of straight guys go to a gay bar. That's just a crowded gay bar. Doesn't they don't have that effect. There's no conversion of it back. It doesn't translate that way. So all right. Well, I think that's all I can do right now for the time being. So you guys have been great. Thanks.
Keep it going for John. Yeah. All right, fun. All right, guys. We're working through this list. this next comic is very funny. Put your hands together for Eli Boyle.
All right, you're going up next.
No, I'm going.